Duncan is usually grumpy and a bad-tempered narrow-gauge engine who tends to complain about pretty much everything, whether it's his work, the weather, his passengers, and even some engines. He tends to show off as he rocks and rolls along the line. This can make him careless and gets him into trouble. Despite this, Duncan does have a big heart and is really useful like all the narrow-gauge engines. One day, Fergus brought a goods train to the transfer yards. The cargo was going to be loaded in some trucks that Duncan was to collect. Duncan arrived and backed onto them.
That's how you shunt trucks?
Paul, that's none of your business. It's just my way of doing things.
Being more smooth is the only way of doing things. Now do it right.
Duncan wheezed steam with frustration and puffed away. Do it light indeed. Do it light indeed. He arrived at the station with the cargo and went off to find some coaches. Hurry up and get in line! We've got plenty of time, Duncan. How about you try to be more friendly, Duncan? I just talked to Peter, Sam, and Headley this morning. I am friendly! And Duncan puffed away. Later that afternoon, Bertram found Skarloey. He told him about Duncan.
Maybe we should ask him to be more kinder for one day.
But he had no need to do that. Duncan was in the shed talking to his driver. First Fergus and now Bertram. There's no reason to change my behavior. Maybe there is. Think about it. And he left Duncan with a few things to think about. The next day, Duncan was ready for work. He buttered up to his coaches, gently. As the passengers were getting ready to get on board, Duncan took a deep breath. Good morning, everyone! Good morning, Duncan! Duncan was pleased that someone responded to him. The guard blew his whistle, and Duncan left the station. Along the way, as Duncan passed other engines, he whistled hello. Even to Skarloey and Bertram. Perhaps he didn't need to talk after all. Meanwhile, Fergus was on his way to the wharf with some trucks from the cement works. The standard gauge line to the wharf runs beside the narrow gauge tracks. The standard gauge tracks were bumpy. When Fergus saw this, his driver applied the brakes, but the trucks bumped forward. On! Luckily, Fergus didn't have any damage, but he was derailed and he was now looking at the narrow gauge tracks. He felt very foolish. Soon, Fergus was back on the rails and he continued his journey. Once he arrived at the wharf, Duncan was already there. I'm sorry about yesterday.
I'm sorry too. I had a little incident.
Don't stress yourself. I get into incidents all the time. Nobody can do it right. Everyone is flawed, but still really useful. Fergus agreed. Duncan is now a much careful engine when it comes to trucks or coaches. And he's now more cheerful around other engines. But I'm not sure to say if Duncan will be this nicer engine forever. Do you?